Hey gang, all right, so workout number 3 here, month 1 Grind Style Calisthenics video. This is how I kind of would approach this workout here, and it's all 4 phases, but again, modify, change, and adjust however you like. The master list of all the videos and exercises is down below, free PDFs, and so on. But this is our squat lateral chain, referring to the log here that is down below. You can download it. And so we have our tension phase first, because you can only work a muscle to the degree you can engage it. For the squat chain, we have the wall sit and the table bridge, and then lateral chain is push downs. So we're gonna come on over here. And for the wall sit, we're just feet relatively close together. I'm gonna dig my heels in like I'm pushing my tailbone into the wall. So I'm not like this. This is waking up the quads to a high degree. And you may feel it also in your TFL, right there in your hip. And I'm just quad city, baby. Work it, work it, work it. Engage, engage, engage. I'm not trying to exhaust it. I'm just trying to engage it to a high degree. Come on down. And then we did this in the last video, but it's good to do again. The table bridge. This is getting the back of the legs now. So we're engaging hamstrings. I'm pulling. If your hamstrings cramp up, just come down a little bit. So that way it's not as much resistance. That's good. Those are engaged pretty good from the last workout. Little cramp there. And then we have for the lateral chain, countertops work well. You can use rings or something to push down. I'm just going to use these stall bars. Put my weight on this leg. Shoulders back, chest is up, and I'm just going to push down with all these muscles here. Kind of like I'm trying to get my hand and my foot to touch each other. So I'm kind of trying to do this. Turn around. Good alignment is crucial here. You don't want to be hunched up. So full extension of the hip, extension of the spine. It's a little far maybe. There we go. Bonus points if you get that in your lats. Your lats, lats, lateral, latissimus dorsi, boom, pushing down. We'll get one more, just because it's been a bit since my last leg workout. So if you're coming into these workouts and it's like, it's been a while since I've done that, muscle's not quite online, give yourself more of this warm-up preparatory stuff. The whole point is to get your neuromuscular system woken up and engaged. And I won't need much of this because we just did this. Yeah. Hi, hamstrings. Ooh. Boy, anybody who's like, can't work hamstrings with bodyweight training, do this stuff. It will change your mind. Lateral. Now, see, I didn't go by feel. So I was a little rotated, and it's like, doesn't feel right. So I rotated back. There we go. Now I got it. And even when you're doing this sort of thing, like play around with it. Like, what if I go closer? What if my arm is straighter? What if I'm in behind my hand? What if I'm before? You know, it's not like, am I doing it the right way? The right way is the way that gets things to fire up first and foremost. We have our objectives. It's objective-based training. We don't train according to a formula or a routine. We train however we want and can to achieve the objective. So change the workouts however you like if you feel it helps you achieve that objective of engaging the muscles. Now we have our stability. And stability, what was it again? We have shifting squats, T-planks. That was the one I was forgetting. This is why we write stuff down. Never trust your success to your memory. So just shifting squats back and forth. Classic staple of mine. I really need to work on this one, especially now. I had a bit of a hip issue. About a month ago, I was helping a friend move his gym, like gym, and I lifted something a little funny, and I felt a strain in my right hip. And ever since then, my right hip has been a little bit tight. So I'm just focusing on that. Now, when I come over to one side, I'm pulling my knee in. So when I go to the side, I'm not doing that. My weight is flat, and I'm kind of sitting in the hip. And you can go wider. Oh, yeah. I'm just getting used to good mobility too. These stability exercises are really great for the mobility as well. So when people are like, do you ever stretch? I'm like, no, I do this sort of thing. Helps with mobility a lot. T-plank. When I do this, shoulders are fully protracted, retracted, protracted, retracted. You can go up, don't go behind you, kind of thing. I know a lot of people do this. Straight up, or you can even just, I've known people to hold like a 5-pound weight. That can be a little fun to do this with dumbbells. Keep it light though. It's not like, can you do this with a pair of 50s or anything? Back and forth. Getting those shoulders nice and stable and woken up. All right, strength phase. Now, we got, for month 1, regular shrimp squats and side plank with feet suspended. Now, the setup for this one's a little different here in my environment than it may be for you, which I'll explain in a little bit. So, the last thing I want people to do with these videos is to look what I do here and be like, oh, that's how Matt's doing it, that's how I need to do it. Totally not at all. This is just kind of how I approach it. Some people like to see these workouts kind of in play, but you know, it's not like what works for me works for you. There could be 100 reasons to change any of this, which is why I have the master list of all the exercises down below, and that way you can find the exercises that are appropriate for you. So for me now, because my hips have been kind of wonky, I've been really regressed my leg stuff because of the weakness in my hip. So I always do my shrimp squats with assistance from the arm. That gives me the ability to adjust the resistance on the fly, but it also makes it more of a strength exercise instead of stability. Like when people are like, you can't get bigger and stronger in your legs with calisthenics. Yeah, if you're doing this sort of thing all the time, no, because that's more challenging to your stability. So I have assistance. So now it's more challenging to my strength and muscle tension. When you're doing this with the shrimps, the more you grab on, the harder it is. So I like to try to just keep a touch on my fingers here. And we'll see if I can't get this. We'll go for about 6. I like to get a little more higher reps. I'm going to go with the fingertips on the other side just as I'm warming it up. Now, yeah, I still feel it in that hip a little bit. Still in the hip, just a touch. But now I can adjust how much I'm grabbing on. And I'm trying to be upright. Okay, so I don't want to lean forward as much as I can. It's all about making it harder during the rep, during the set. I want it hard. I don't want it easy. Little assistance. It's amazing. It's like a fingertip makes all the difference at this level of my strength. I believe that was 6. I'm counting, or I'm talking, so it's hard to count. But yeah, my hips, man, I tell you, it's always been my biggest challenge. You'd think a guy who did Taekwondo for 34 years would have better hips. But I also was a bike racer for 16, and that is not hip friendly, let me tell you. See, the left side's much better. Much better. Of course, I'm also reminded I was born with a defect in my right hip. When I was born, my right leg was permanently out to the side. So I had a cast on my leg for about a year to bring it back in, but it probably wasn't perfect. Now for my side planks, foot suspended. So my feet are here. I'm just using a regular strap for the rings. But the strap doesn't go all the way down to the floor, so I'm using this box to elevate my arm. So you can do this regular side plank, put a towel on the floor, works really well, but this is the setup I have with my current circumstances. So always adjust according to your circumstances. I'm gonna hold for about a 10 count. Foot is in, shoulders are back, full extension. Lateral chain work is slightly extension chain work because I'm pushing everything forward and I stretch out, working hard and done. I come down under control. Trying to lift my hips up so I'm almost a little concave or convex, not concave, the other way. And not easy, but that's the point. We use leverage to make it harder. Oh, love leverage, man. So, I mean, again, being able to adjust the resistance mid-rep or mid-set makes such a difference because you can just make it ever so much harder on yourself. And if you need it a smidge easier, like I was doing on the shrimp squats, my fingertips, you can do that. If you want it harder, which is awesome, you can do that too. So you really get to push hard on these strength exercises, which is entirely the point. We don't want this to be, oh, I could do 20 of these. Well, what's the point of that? That's finisher phase work. That's coming up. I don't want it that easy. We can add the weight vest. We can hold on to a plate and stuff. Make it hard for what you need to do. But it should be very hard and challenge your strength. Yeah, that hip is not quite happy with me today. Probably going to limit myself to 2 sets on this one, just to be on the safe side. So that's a case of me making a judgment call, not based on my strength ability, but just what I think might be better for my body. But boy, is that satisfying. Ooh, love feeling that quad and those glutes light up. Oh. Oh, one more for good luck. Yeah. Every gram of weight you push back makes this harder. So, aside from this, if you really want some fun, put your hand on a wall and push yourself back while you're doing that. You still get a little bit of stability from the friction with your hand on the wall, but it makes it a lot harder. Leverage, leverage. Gotta love leverage. Oh, yeah, that is definitely the stronger leg. So you see, I kind of cheated a little. I made 2 fingers a little on the side there to make it just a smidge easier. So I chickened out a little on that one. Whew. We'll get one more here. So I mix these up. You know, you put the tension chains wherever you like. You know, there's no big reason why lateral squat is together. Flexion, push, extension, pull. But I use that combination because I find, well, if I'm working my lateral chain, that gets the hip really engaged. And that tends to help leg stuff. If I'm working flexion, that tends to support push chain stuff like push-ups. Same with extension and pulling to some degree. So they work well together, but by all means, change it however you like. If you're up for like legs and push together, well then do that. Switch and swap however you see fit. The only thing that matters is getting the objective of the phases. Oh, that feels good. Whoo, that was a good one. That was very satisfying. And it feels good because you feel like the tension chain is one solid muscle group. It's not like, oh, it's in one area or the other and stuff. As I always say, don't isolate, integrate. So you're trying to get everything working together as a cohesive unit. So you almost can't identify individual muscles working. And in this case, my lats, obliques, hips. And always come down under control. Whew. Yeah, we'll keep it to 2 today too, especially since I may go skiing tomorrow. I want to save a little bit in the legs. So let's go right into the finisher phase. And we have jump lunges, 90 seconds, and just regular side plank for 20 seconds. Okay, so now when we change things up, you'll notice when I'm doing different exercises, different phases, I'm trying to make things very, very, very different. And the reason for that is because if I make it too much similar, it's not bad, but I want to create a much more broad variety of stimuli in the workout. So if I did like, vertical grip pull-ups, and then for a finisher, underhanded pull-ups, that's fine, but you're basically still doing the same thing. It's not really that different. So if you're going to do more work, change it up enough so that way you've got more different things going on. So in the last workout, I did commando pull-ups for strength, rows for hypertrophy. So I switched speeds, I switched body angle to gravity, I went from bilateral to unilateral or vice versa. I had different rep ranges, I changed a whole bunch of stuff. So even though I was still pulling, same muscles are working, the stimulus that I was creating for those muscles was much more varied for the workout, which meant I got a lot more out of that workout versus doing tiny little variations of basically the same thing. All right, so we got jump lunges. Oh, perfect right there. And just bounce back and forth. Good cardio finisher. Gonna get the heart rate up. Trying to keep most of my weight on the front leg. Ooh, yeah. Let that knee come forward. Using the hips as the shock absorbers. For you tele skiers out there, this is ideal. And right there, my legs are starting to turn to lead. Oh boy. Whew. Jump, jump. 20 seconds to go. Bring it to a minute because form is starting to break down. I don't want to do sloppy reps. Oh, and then you walk funny for the rest of the day. Whew. Exhausted. Whew. And side plank. Good one to catch your breath too. Ooh. Quads are spasming a bit. Come on, online. We just need you for another 20 seconds. And up. Just to kind of get everything working. And switch. You can stretch it out if you want it to be harder. People are like, what about cardio? That's cardio. Short and fast. And down. Hoo-ah. All right. Squat and lateral. Done. So again, that's just kind of how I would do it. And more importantly, how I would do it today. If you watched me do a squat lateral workout next week, well, could be 4 sets on the shrimp squats. Could be stretched out even further and holding for a smidge longer on the lateral plank. Being flexible to achieve the objective of the phase. That's what's important. Not following how many sets and reps kind of thing. Because some days you're going to need to do a little less. Some days, a little bit more. Adjust accordingly. Again, all documents free down below in the description. Let me know if you have questions in the comment section. If you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.